There's a safety recall for nearly 180,000 infant car seats
That's a
for
lot.
being a choking hazard because the foam piece that they have, I guess, for like around the head, it's easy for the kids to pick it apart and then chew on it and choke on it. And it's from the name brand Safety First. I beg to differ. Not today. Not Safety First today. But if you have a
Home
Safety
candy
First
first.
infant car seat that looks like this, perhaps go check out the recall and see if your model is part of it, because there are several.
That's great.
Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time.
Hi, I'm Amanda,
And I'm Nikki,
and welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of wine.
and whine about our crazy, busy, stressful working mom lives. And sometimes we try to offer resources to help.
Only sometimes.
Other times, the venting is what helps.
Right. I was looking at the back of this wine bottle, and it's very dramatic. It says, "A keeper of the grassland,
Intrigue.
defender of the defenseless, the most
Oh.
passionate of lovers, and charming combatant. The South American Guacho is a man of heavy manners and tall reputation.
Oh my.
He rides by saddle and spur, protector of the fruits of the land." Is that an innuendo? Like the gaucho's dominant character, this Argentinian Malbec is reputably rich in flavors of plums and cherries, and vanilla and chocolate that carry this wine of pride and passion.
It sounds delicious.
Ooh, it says it will stand on its own or alongside spicy empanadas.
Oh,
Now I kind of want an
spicy.
empanada. So yes, I am trying a Malbec today, and Nikki is boring and drinking her same old stuff. Oh, you froze when I was insulting you. Oh, you heard it.
I heard it.
This
Nice
podcast,
try.
yeah, this podcast is going to get very awkward. Brought to you by Amanda's bad internet.
We keep freezing on each other, and then sometimes it just cuts out totally, and other times it will speed catch up. So, we might be laughing at inappropriate moments and things like that because we're just behind on the sound.
Just like at funerals. I mean,
You're not wrong. I'm the queen of laughing at inappropriate times.
Was it an eye-opening moment for you when you would explain to people, like they'd be like, "What'd you do for Easter or whatever holiday?" And you would say, "We made this and that and cheesy potato casserole." And they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And then you start to describe the ingredients and they say, "Oh, you mean funeral potatoes?"
That would floor me. I have to admit that has never happened.
Yes. These are apparently
I
called
don't know that
funeral
anyone has
potatoes.
ever questioned when I said cheesy potato. Yeah, like they're apparently called funeral potatoes, and it's a thing, and I had no idea. But I guess people just didn't question when I called it cheesy potatoes, and they
Yeah.
just thought it was potatoes with cheese. Maybe I don't know,
Well, I think
but they never
sometimes,
said what's that, and like inquired further. So
well, sometimes I would say it and people would be like, "You mean like with hash browns or au gratin or what are we talking about here?" And I'd be like, "No." They're like, "Oh, you mean funeral potatoes. Is this the only time that you get to eat potatoes, you poor sad person?" Anyway.
well,
Didn't
that would be
expect to
sad.
go on a potato rant today. So today we're going to whine about going to the movies. Because whether you have one
It's
child
expensive.
or multiple children, it's expensive. You could go by yourself and it's expensive. You have to take out a
It's
second mortgage
expensive
to go to the movies these days.
to go
I
to the
literally had
movies.
to get a home equity line of credit the last time I took my children to see a movie.
You know that that meme where it says, "I won't tell anyone if I win the lottery, but there'll be signs," and then there's a picture, and it's Sometimes they put a picture of Disney World, and sometimes it's just a picture of movie
Yeah.
popcorn, or like there'll be signs. I can afford to go to the theater.
I think there was I think someone famous did that. I don't know if it was Will Ferrell but it was like there'll be signs and it was a receipt with like soda and popcorn on it at the theater. Can't remember who it was.
I don't remember who
Um,
it was either, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah. But not only is it expensive, you don't even get to watch the whole thing because you have people going, I want to go to the bathroom or I'm
I have to
bored
go
or
to
like
the
you
bathroom.
have a little toddler trying to like
My
run around the
soda's
theater.
empty.
Mhm. It's like that episode of Bluey where Bluey and Bingo keep like taking their dad out of the theater to go like get their refill or go to the bathroom or is Bingo I think it is starts running around the theater and I'm like I identify with this.
I was
I
having
always
that issue, and so I decided to start buying tickets only in the very back row. And our
yeah.
theater is one where they have the recliners and you reserve the seats. So we buy in the very back and close to one of the edges if we can. And that way
Mhm.
she can stand up and jump around and sit down. And there's usually a lot of floor space for that there. The rule is just that she can't leave the aisle, like
Yeah.
she has to stay in front of her chair. And that seems to have worked pretty well. She's older now, so it's not as big a deal, but
Yeah.
when we first started going, she's all over the place.
Yeah. I know I used to sit in the back row when like I still had like actual infants because I'd be like if I have to like feed them or whatever, I should be sitting in the back, but that's I should have just stayed in the back. Like that's a good strategy.
That's brave of you to take an infant to the movie theater.
Yeah, it was rare, but like what did we go see? I don't remember if it was the Paw Patrol movie or what, but I feel like it was like
Oh, like a kids
for
movie.
someone's birth. Yeah, it was a kids movie, and so I didn't feel guilty. Like I would never ever take any kind of a child to anything that wasn't full of children already.
Let me tell you about the time that I went to see Jurassic Park, one of the newer ones. I don't remember which one, but one of the newer ones.
Please
And there were
do.
two women who were at least in their 30s sitting in their reserve seats side by side. And on the armrest in between them was I don't know, 4 or 5 year old, perhaps. Didn't have his own ticket or his own seat, apparently, just sitting on in the middle of their two reserve seats at a PG-13 movie.
No, I will never ever take my children to a movie I want to actually enjoy. I always end up missing at least a solid 20 minutes because someone's
Oh,
still young enough that we have to go take them for a little walk or we
mm-hmm.
have to go to the bathroom twice or whatever. So,
Yeah. I missed a big part of the Little Mermaid live action because I had to take your child to the bathroom.
lame.
But I also said to myself, this is going to come out on Disney Plus in a matter of like 2
Yeah.
months. I'll be fine.
Yeah. That was my thing. Like, I missed a good section of the Mario movie
Mm-hmm.
and
I
maybe
missed a little bit of Minecraft, but it wasn't bad and I
maybe the
didn't
last
care.
Minion movie. I haven't seen Minecraft yet, and Silas is very sad
So
about that.
funny.
I want to see it.
So good. I don't know much about Minecraft, but I found it hilarious.
I would love to see the Minecraft movie, but movies are too expensive.
It's expensive.
Um, but the Jurassic Park story brings up my third point too, is like you're always worried about annoying others. Like if I'm going to take my kids to the theater, I'm going to do it at a movie where I know the rest of the theater is filled with annoying children and I'm not the only one with annoying children.
Yes. There haven't been too many where I was worried about that with Ari because they've mostly been kid movies, Adam's
Yeah.
Family, Minecraft, Disney stuff.
No Titanic.
No Titanic.
Could you imagine not only taking a kid to a movie that they're way too young to appreciate or need to watch anyway, but then picking something that's like 3 to 4 hours long? That would be insane.
When I see a movie's close to 2 hours, I think, why in the hell am I bringing my child to this?
Yep.
Like,
If the runtime is over 90 minutes, I am checked out. I get mad when it's 90 minutes. I'm like, what happened to 60 to 75, guys? Like,
mm-hmm,
let's cut this off.
mm-hmm.
And they don't count the previews in the runtime. If we're going to talk about lowering costs, I don't, it's a little immoral, but you just got to sneakity snack
It's real
your
sneaky,
way in there.
sneaky.
Little sneaky snacks in the purse, in the cargo pants. Bring back those like hot topic pants where you could put like a whole 2 liter in them. Or
No.
if your heart really says, "Oh, I can't do that," then just eat a really big meal before you go. Or you could split. Like you could
True
get like
story.
a large popcorn and split it and then be like, "We'll also eat afterwards," but when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. Sometimes I do a little bit of both. Maybe I bring like a bottle of water with me
Mhm.
and some sort of candy, but then we buy a popcorn. So you're still
Yeah,
supporting the theater,
have a
but
moral
you're not spending as
compromise.
much as you would to fill two people up the whole time.
It was really funny because like during and right after COVID, there was this huge, it was almost like propaganda. Like they would have the actors that are in that movie in a little sit down panel session that you watched beforehand, and they'd be like, "We just really appreciate people coming to see this in the theater." It's like, well, if you would charge us less, we might do this more.
Yes, people are still talking about like the huge decline of movies in the theater and
Yeah,
people not going to see it. It's not because we're afraid of germs anymore. It's because you make it too expensive. The average family
right,
can't afford to go to the theater.
right.
Like it's ridiculous.
You can't be
Oh,
afraid
but
of
hey,
germs in a
prices
movie
are
theater anyway.
lowering.
Yeah.
So I like watching them
Um.
at home anyway because you can, wear whatever you
Yes.
want. You can pause the movie
Yes.
to go to the bathroom, make your own snacks. If your kid
I.
interrupts you, you can hit pause for a long time until they
Yeah.
chill the F out. And then,
I feel like one of the best ideas they had during COVID, and I feel like they should continue this, is the whole thing of like, okay, we're also going to release it for you to buy at home, and we're just going to like charge you extra basically. So you're still renting it, you don't own it, but you're paying a little more for it, but it still ends up being like cheaper than the theater, but you get to be at home, you can make your own food. If the kid is like wanting to go to the bathroom, you can stop it. Like there was a lot of pros to that. So but I think
yeah,
they were losing money doing it that way, but it would be nice if they could
yeah.
work out something.
It would be nice if they could figure out how to make movies without it costing trillions of dollars. Then maybe they wouldn't have to charge so much.
Yeah. And they probably
We
could.
love going, they love making them. Like, what
Yeah,
can we make a deal? Like,
right. Exactly. Exactly. Let's make a deal. Um, Something that can help though is like looking for the cheap matinee showings, and sometimes they'll like during the summer they'll do it with older movies, but sometimes there's like a special like Tuesday matinee or whatever, and you can go see something that is newer, but you're doing it in the middle of the day when they don't get as much business, and so they lower the cost of the ticket.
hmm
They should have matinee concession prices too.
they should. And always join the rewards program for wherever you are.
Yes. Yep. We said it in the
Every once
fast
in a while, I
food
get like
episode, and we'll
$5
say
off
it
here
here
and there.
again. I cannot tell you how many times I get an email from B&B theaters telling me that I have a free popcorn, and I'm like, heck yes.
Yep. Let's go.
And they'll give you stuff on your birthday. Just make one for all the kids, like a separate app. But yeah, definitely take advantage of the apps and the reward points and everything.
hmm
Something I thought about too. So I know everyone does chores and allowance a little differently, but what we do, because I got really tired of counting out nickels and dimes and quarters, is I'm just like, listen, these are the chores, and at the end of the month, you get $20. Um, Maybe one month instead, we say the reward is going to the movies, and then they can have a theater. They can have a ticket. You can have a whole theater. No.
At the theater.
Um, they can have a ticket and buy some concessions. That's something too that I feel like went away. Like you used to be able to have a birthday party at the movie theater, and I tried to look into that a couple times, and I just ended up having to buy tickets for everybody because there wasn't like an actual party room anymore. It's like, what happened to that?
I don't remember there being a party room at the
Oh, way
theaters.
back in the day there was. I don't think so. Like when I worked at the theaters, that was like early high school, and I don't know that I ever worked any of the party rooms, but they definitely had party rooms.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Interesting.
But
Can't say
yeah,
that's ever one I had or went to as a
I'm
kid.
assuming it's like decently expensive. That or we just never looked into it because like when we went to the theater for my birthday, we just went and saw the movie.
Yeah, that's what we did for mine too.
Batman Forever. I'll never forget.
Charlie's Angels and Sabaro Pizza at the food court.
Mmm. I used to really like Sbarro, and then one time I ended up with a hair in my pizza, and I've just never been able to eat it since.
Ugh, never
One of
pleasant.
those things, yeah. So when we had our Easter celebration with Brandon's side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
it was around the same time that Jack was still on the struggle bus with his stomach bug. And so we basically told everybody he is sick. You can come if you want. You can stay home if you want. Because I am the first person to back out of an event if I know somebody's kid has recently been puking because I don't want to be puking.
Mm-hmm.
So some people still showed up and some people decided not to show up. But there was, like, we always divide up what we're going to bring. So because there
Mm-hmm.
were people that didn't show up, and this happened at the last minute because we thought he was over it and then found out he was not, we ended up not having any salad or any fruit. And I kid you not,
Just had bread
multiple.
and meat.
Well, I made some vegetables and stuff. But what was really funny was multiple times that day, somebody would be like, "Man, I really want some fruit right now." Like a kid would just be like, "Can I have some fruit?" And we'd be like, "Nope." There is no fruit.
That's random.
I know.
They never want fruit when it's the option, but
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we did have some apples and oranges in the fridge, but it was just really funny for them to be like, "Can I have some fruit?" And we'd be like, there
about
isn't.
that.
There isn't any." But that became like a running joke of like, well, we are now going to let the people know who didn't show up that their fruit was greatly missed. So as always, thank you for joining us. Nikki had to go take care of a puppy issue, but you can find us on all the socials at Working Moms Wine. We have workingmomswine.com, patreon.com/workingmomswine, and we will both see you next time. Bye.